Let's talk about the housing market. I mean, it's pretty much in a deep freeze, right? Most companies are just trying to hang on. But we're going to look at one that didn't just survive, it absolutely crushed it, posting the best quarter in its entire history. This is the story of Compass and how they're swimming against the current. Okay, so first things first, we gotta set the scene. To really get how wild this story is, you have to understand just how tough the environment has been for pretty much everyone. For months, the entire real estate industry has been, frozen solid. You got high interest rates, people are feeling uncertain about the economy, and what does that mean? Fewer buyers, fewer sellers. The market was basically at a total standstill. So you have to ask, right? When the market is this bad, is everyone struggling? Does every single company get dragged down together? Well, the answer is a pretty shocking no. In fact, one company didn't just keep its head above water, it somehow found a way to catch a massive wave and completely rewrite its own record books in the process. And yeah, that company is Compass. While everyone else in the industry was bracing for a really bad quarter, they were getting ready to announce their best results ever. So here it is. In the second quarter of 2025, Compass dropped the news. They had just had the single most powerful quarter in the company's entire history. I'm not talking about a good quarter. I mean, literally the best one they've ever had. And this wasn't like, oh, they broke a record or two. No, this was a total sweep. In just those 3 months, they set, get this, 10 new all-time company records. All right, so let's actually dive into what those records were. Because when you see them all laid out like this, the scale of what they pulled off is it's staggering. I mean, just take a look at this list. We're talking highest revenue ever, highest profitability, highest net income, their biggest market share to date, most free cash flow. They even had their best quarter ever for bringing on top agents. It was just complete domination across every single key metric you can think of. And let's look at the top line growth. In a market that was, again, totally frozen, Compass grew its revenue by over 21% year over year. That figure, all by itself, is mind-blowing. But, revenue is only one piece of the puzzle. To really understand their profitability, we need to talk about adjusted EBITDA. Basically, just think of it as a really clean way to see the cash a company is generating from its main business. And here, wow, the numbers are even more dramatic. Their core profitability shot up by a massive 63%. So what's that tell us? It means they're not just getting bigger, they're getting way, way more efficient and profitable with what they do. So you're probably wondering, how? How are they getting so efficient? Well, this right here is a huge clue. That technology platform Compass gives its agents, usage shot up by 37%. And that's not just some nice little bonus, that's the engine driving this whole thing. It's their strategic advantage. Now let's pull the camera back and put all of this into context. This is where the story goes from impressive to, well, unbelievable. How did Compass stack up against the entire industry? On one side, we have Compass. On the other, the entire U.S. real estate market. We're going to look at the most fundamental metric you can, the number of homes actually being sold. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? While the overall market actually shrank, transaction volume fell by almost a full percent. Compass grew its transactions by nearly 21%. They weren't just swimming against the current, they were rocketing upstream. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but did they just buy other companies to get this growth? And that's where this idea of organic growth is so important. It measures the growth a company achieves all on its own, without making acquisitions. And even on this front, the story holds up. Their own internal organic growth was over 6%, which means they outperformed that shrinking market by a full 7 percentage points. So this success, it was built from the inside out. So maybe the most crucial point here is that this wasn't a fluke. It wasn't some one-off lucky quarter. For 17 straight quarters, that's every single quarter since they became a public company, Compass has grown faster than the market. This is a consistent long-term pattern of dominance. After a quarter that just rewrote all the record books and defied market logic, the big question is, what does this mean for the future? So what's the bottom line here? Look, this wasn't a story of survival. This was a story of pure domination. In the toughest conditions the industry has faced in years, Compass slammed on the accelerator while everyone else was hitting the brakes. And that leaves us with one fascinating question to think about. We saw their platform usage spike. We saw their agents outperform the market. So is this the proof? Is a technology-first approach no longer just an advantage, but something that's fundamentally reshaping the entire future of how real estate works? Well, it sure seems like Compass is making a very strong case that it is.